Peace and love. Hi, everyone. Welcome in. Just gonna adjust this. Okay. Hi. I just got out of the shower and I was thinking about a concept, and I thought I would come on here and just connect with you and say hi and share a story or two and just vibe out and just have a good time. So far, there's no one here, and that's okay. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. No, it's okay. I am here on a Saturday night just wanting to connect, to share a story with my wet hair while my babies are off doing their thing. I had a minute, so I was like, let me come on here. So I'm going to tell a story about my life, and my intention is that you are able to gain some type of wisdom or an insight or inspiration or just connect to what I'm talking about. And I'm going to start with when I was a little girl. When I was a little girl, little Maya, she wanted nothing more than to become a professional dancer. When I was 3 years old, I started to take ballet classes and loved it. I loved to move. When I had to do a show when I was 3, I pushed out of the way and went to the front into the center. I just wanted to be performing and to be dancing. When I was a little girl, my favorite movie was Dirty Dancing. And when I turned 4, I begged my mom to let me watch Dirty Dancing before I went to school in the morning, which meant waking up at like 6:30 to watch this movie. Now, watching it when I'm older, I realized that that was a very inappropriate movie for a little girl to watch. But nonetheless, it was my favorite movie. And I really loved dancing. I loved being on stage. I love moving my body. I love music. I love expressing myself in this way. And it just always made me so happy. When I was 11, I got into a pretty prestigious dance school called Alvin Ailey Dance School. It was the children's division. There, I was in classes about 3 to 4 times a week, meaning I would come, I'm coming from Brooklyn, getting on the A train and going to these classes. And when I was 11, I think I started to see the Alvin Ailey Dance Company, the actual company. And I just never thought anyone was more beautiful than Judith Jameson. And just seeing the professional dancers, how they walked, how they carried themselves, their elegance, the way they respected themselves, the way they took care of their body. Because you could see them like they'll go in for the different treatments, like they got massages or they take their own company classes. I wanted nothing more than to be a part of that life. I wanted nothing more than to be a part of that world, like Black excellence, dance, performing, taking care of your body, being elegant, being on stage. It just lit my heart up. When I was 12, I started to go through puberty and I started to get these hips. The same hips I have now, I had when I was 12. Well, they're much bigger actually because I had 2 babies, but they were pretty big. And I'm curvy and I'm 5'10". So my teacher basically told me, she was like, well, you'll never be in a corpse ballet. Like, you'll never be a professional ballerina because your body is so curvy. In order to be in ballet, you all have to be like this, like a stick. And at 12 years old, I mourned the death of my dream, which was to become a professional ballet dancer, or in Alvin Ailey, which the core of their technique is Horton, but you still have to have a strong ballet technical balance. I wanted nothing more than to be a professional dancer, and I was told that I would never make it at 12. And so I gave up dance and got so sad and so depressed and started hanging out with the wrong people. By the time I hit 16, I returned back to the school because I knew that the people I was hanging out with and the fact that I had a lot of free time after school was no bueno. I saw what the people I was around were doing, and I wanted that discipline. I wanted that like, for me, dance class is like church. It's like you have this respect for yourself. There's a quietness in the room. There's like a level of excellence and drive and striving, and then there's music. So I just always like to be in dance class. It kept me disciplined. It kept me focused. So then after that, I returned back to dance, back to my core, started feeling really much better about myself. I got into school. I got into Howard University, and I went into the dance major program. And the dance major program was very rigorous. We used to dance for 8 hours. We would have rehearsals for like 8 hours. We would have classes. If you know anything about fine arts and Howard University, you know that you were in class in the middle of the night. You would have classes until 3 a.m. because those teachers were, it was beyond just a class. When you teach at Howard, it's legacy, it's Black excellence. They're not gonna just show you how to get a good grade. They're preparing you for the racism, the sexism, the colorism. They're preparing you for the world. And I had the same Bosman, the same. He was the 4 years ahead of me in fine arts, same teachers. When he used to stand up and give his speeches and talk about all the teachers at Howard, he was naming my teachers, same teachers. And so there was just this level of excellence. And they would prepare you and they would show you, because they were not only just professors, but they had worked in industry, because they knew what it was. They told me how I would be casted. They told me how the type of roles that I was going to get. They prepared me for what was to come. Anyway, I'm in Howard in the fine arts program, and I started to not do so well. I really love Afro-Cuban. I don't have a strong ballerina technique that was needed for the program. There was just a lot of friction. Sophomore year came by, and then they started to fail me in my classes. And sophomore year came by, I'll never forget, every single faculty member of Howard University, of my school in the dance program, all the teachers in the dance program got together, and they told me that I would never make it as a dancer and that I should pick a different career. I should go into writing or something because I will never make it. My body is untrainable. Devastated because, again, dance was my dream. I didn't leave my house for 3 days. I was crying so much because the people that I wanted to believe in me, or that I felt I needed to believe in me, or the ones that I thought needed to guide my life, didn't believe in my dream. And my dream was to become a professional dancer. And they were like, you'll never make it. So then I was really sad, so sad, crying. I think I spent a long time just in this sadness of like the despair of not allowing or not just thinking like, why can't I have my dream? Why can't my dream be realized? Why does it have to be so hard? Why does it have to be so much friction? And then I don't know, went through a summer and then I realized I don't need this program in order to dance. I just need to dance. Like, I'm here for the joy. I'm here for moving my body. I'm here for experience. I'm here for traveling. I'm here for all of that. I'm not here for someone to tell me or to limit what I can do. I took an Afro Cuban dance class. I auditioned for the company. I got in. I started touring. I started dancing while I was in school, touring and doing all the things while I was in Howard University. And having the time of my life, traveling to Cuba, traveling all over and dancing. When I danced, I felt free. When I danced, I connected to deeper parts of me that I didn't express. When I danced, I felt invincible. When I danced, I felt my power. And I toured and I toured and I toured. And then I moved to New York City and I got into another Afro Cuban dance company here. And I began touring. Again, more conversations started happening about my body. And I was told that my butt is too big, other things I won't say. And different things started to like trickle down into the company vibe. And it became a situation where I had to leave. Again, when dance was in my life, I was sad. I didn't have direction. I didn't know where to go because I knew that was my dream. That's my passion. That's my goal. That's like what gives me life. That's the one thing that when I'm dancing, time doesn't exist. This whole like limitations of my body doesn't exist. Dress doesn't exist. I'm just free. I'm just one with the drum, especially when I'm dancing in Cuba, because like the drum is just, it's incredible. It's intoxicating. So I began to teach dance all throughout New York City. I got my own dance studio and I'm teaching and I'm giving and I'm like turned it into my own career where I'm teaching 8 classes a week. I'm, giving this joy that I have for the dance and like it became about service to people. It became about service to people and I began to create a career out of teaching dance. And then things started to get really stuck in my life where I was stuck at a certain income level. I was stuck in terms of I couldn't figure out the whole love thing. I didn't know how to attract healthy love. I was attracting lots of toxic love and like just different weird situations. And I couldn't figure out what's the key to put in the lock to unlock what I want. My next level was family and marriage and a different income level. Like my next level was not just like this hustle energy. I wanted to be in my receptivity. And when I had my own dance studio, what I started doing after a very, very, very toxic messy breakup. What I started doing to repair myself, to repair my heart, and to heal myself was I said, okay, I'm going to be single for a long time. Let's just like, I'm done. Like, I'm done with all of that. I'm just going to be single and be happy being single. I'm going to make my life so full, be happy being single, and just heal or whatever. And so I started to go and I would go to my dance studio at 6 in the morning. I would make myself French toast. I would have blueberries, strawberries, green tea. And I would go there and I would just dance for me. I would dance samba. I would dance belly dance. I would do Afro-Cuban. I would do all these dances just for me. I wasn't teaching. I wasn't sharing. I wasn't doing all of that. It was for me. I filled myself up with joy. I filled myself up with so much patience for myself. Instead of needing to get to a destination by this time, I was like, I'm here in this moment. I'm rooted in this moment, and that's okay. That this moment is exactly where I need to be. I am exactly who I need to be. I don't need to change myself. I'm loving myself as I am. And it was messy, and I would get on the floor and I would cry, and I would allow myself to cry, and I would allow myself to release and let go. I had a lot of time to heal by accepting myself and not feeling like I need to be here. I need to do something different. I'm like, I'm here. This is where I am. It's messy. It hurts. It's ugly to look at. It's ugly to feel. And I dared and I allowed myself to feel. And dance gave me the courage, the strength to move emotions through me so I can feel the thing. I'm not running from the pain of feeling, but I'm allowing it to move through my body. I'm allowing the energy to move through me as opposed to gripping and holding and distracting and numbing. I was just present with it all. And through that process, I completely transformed my life in the way that I'm able to receive love, receive and attract love, and the creative visions that I have for my life has transformed. And I was able to, like, it's not scary, it's significant, it's beautiful that I wrote a list of everything I wanted. I wrote that list in 2019 or the beginning of 2020, like right in January 2020. I wrote a list of everything I wanted, found that list, and I have achieved it all. I have achieved it all. And it was through returning back to the body. So, the significance of dance for a woman in a female body is that the feminine, the orientation of the feminine is the inward pull. The orientation of masculine energy is up and out. It's up and out. The orientation of the feminine is down and in. Down and in. So when you pulling your energy back down and into yourself, is when you increase your magnetism, your aura, is when you become whole and complete. And from whole and completion is how we're able to grow, blossom, bloom, heal, and attract that which we want from ease, from overflow. It can be so easeful that you kind of doubt it because it's so easy, because coming from up and out and always projecting and pushing and hustling and making things happen and checking things off and pushing like this outward energy is necessary sometimes. But if it's not coming from a deeply rooted, deeply centered place, it's misaligned. And so all of your energy is just static and erratic and it's just out here. When you bring it here, back into yourself, into your womb, into your center, you attract things with much more ease. And so, all of my life, if you look at my story, my pattern has always been about coming back home to me and coming back home to my dance, coming back home to my body. Because when you feel safe in your body, you feel safe to receive that which you want. You're not subconsciously sabotaging things. You're able to have, like, you become a fertile ground, fertile soil from which to plant all that you want. But it's coming from an inward orientation, it's coming from an inward pull. And so I have created a beautiful membership that is, in its essence, that inward pull, that place that I always return back to give myself the health, the longevity, the feminine energetics, the peace, and to amplify my softness and my magnetism. It's through the dance that I do, the breath work, the feminine energy work, and I put all of that in my membership. And so this is your invitation to come and join so that you can be in the softness, return back home to your body, return back home to your dance, return back home to yourself, and find a space where you have that continuous inspiration so that when life is lifing, because it will, and you feel rattled, you have me, you have the community, you have the space to come back home and be like, okay, today was rough. I'm going to do this meditation. I'm going to do this sensual stretch. It's like you have a deep well from which to drink from. And that's what I want for all of us. That's what I want and I see for the community, is that we all have this deep well. And think about a well. A well is a space where you not only come to pour and to get your nutrients from, your replenishment, your nourishment, but you also come to talk and have community and know that you're a part of a community and just rest in the fact that we are all on this journey together. And through dance, through feminine energetics, through returning back home to our body, through ritual, through nourishment, through great health, like really taking care of our health from a hormonal level, building our hormones from the inside out, glowing from the inside out. That's what this is about. Because how can we manifest and do all the things we want to do in this world if we're in our body and we don't feel good, or we're getting dizzy because we're not eating for our hormones, or we have really painful cycles, or we have different things going on with our body, if we have too much inflammation in our body? And this is all the things I talk about and I teach inside the membership. Because it's not just about glowing and having the right makeup. It's glowing from within, from a hormonal level, from the meridians in your body. Is the energy flowing in your body? The meridians? It's like a deeper hormonal health level of the glow coming from within. The feminine rituals, the teas, the energetics, it's all there. And so I wanted to invite you. This is your formal invitation into the membership, and it's a beautiful experience. And so what has been my medicine throughout the years, what has been the one thing that has brought me the most joy, the most replenishment, the most ROI for my time, and the most just on a soul level activating has been dance, has been movement. Because sometimes you just need to log off and get into your hips and stretch and breathe and move that thing out and move some things through your body because it's stuck. You have pockets of anger, pockets of shame, pockets of disappointment. It's time to move that energy out because as the feminine, that's what we used to do. That's what our ancestors did. They would dance. They would come together. The people would share the wisdom so you don't feel alone. When you're up late at night Googling different things and getting different answers and feeling confused, you can get your answers. You can know that you're not alone. You can know that there's so many women who are going through what you're going through. And the solutions are in the ancient wisdom. So I'm excited to have you and to share with you my journey because dance is the medicine. Dance absolutely is the medicine. So who's ready to dance? Let me know. Hi, Natasha. It's Saturday night, so I don't want to keep you for too long, but let me know if you have any questions. Let me know how you're living, how you're dancing. What are you doing? What's your self-care like? I'm doing lots of walks, walks in the sunshine, walks on the beach, and dancing a lot. A lot of belly dancing, a lot of shimmying, and just all of that. It's moving lymph nodes. It's moving, lymph flow. It's moving psychic energy. It's moving spiritual energy. It's moving sexual energy. It's moving creative energy. We are meant to move. But how many of us feel stuck? How many of us spend so much time like this? Like this. It's a stuck energy. So right now you can even move your hands, start to just rotate your wrists, right? How does that feel? Rotate your wrists. Bring fluidity just into your hands right now. If you're watching this live or you're in the replay, just moving the energy through your hands and staying open to receive. And I know that many of us are like, oh, the economy, the this, the that, so much chaos. Yes. And how do we get to the next level? We get to the next level through investing in ourselves, through getting guidance, through understanding that you don't have to do this alone, through understanding that the more that you invest in yourself, the more that you attract love to you, opportunities, abundance. It doesn't come from being stuck and in fear. It comes from opening to receive that no matter what is going on in the world, and there's a lot, I know, there's a lot going on. When you invest in yourself and you start to replenish yourself, you start to nourish yourself, you start to pay attention, you start to up level. That's when everything changes. That's when you get a different mindset to have more creativity, to notice more opportunities you didn't see before because you're on a different frequency. You get to a different frequency by investing in yourself, by letting yourself know, I deserve to be poured into. I deserve to get this coaching, to get this guidance, to get my next steps. That's what queens and the female pharaohs did since the beginning of the time. They had a circle around them of advisors and guidance and guides and coaches, all of this to get their mind sharp, to refine themselves. And so we're out here hustling alone, like trying to figure shit out. We don't have to do that. You don't have to do it alone. You have another choice, and it is in investing in yourself. Believe me, that ROI is big, because once you remove the blocks to love, you're removing blocks also to abundance, because you're becoming more receptive. It's men, money, miracles, it's all the same frequency. It depends on your patterning, but it's frequency, it's energy. Are you receptive? Are you in receiving mode? Do you have the ability, do you have the mindset, the queen mindset of I'm investing in myself because I'm in this life and I see I'm stuck. I see that I'm going and going and going and not moving anywhere, but I'm still, my wheels are going, but nothing's changing. I need some guidance. And you switch that energy up. You pour into yourself, you invest in yourself, you make a change. And that's when you see change in your outer world, because you're replenishing and pouring back in. She said, my self-care is eating nutritious food. Yes, I'm all about that. And I'm on something too where I'm starting to eat a bit slower, slowing down to eat and just allowing myself even more pleasure, because that is deeply feminine. The permission to feel pleasure, to be in pleasure. Remember, we have this organ in our body. This organ rhymes with the name Dolores. And it's called the clitoris. And the clitoris has 8,000 nerve endings. The clitoris is the only organ inside the human body that is solely designed, its sole purpose is for our pleasure. So the way that we're designed by the divine is literally for us to experience pleasure. So slowing down, eating, cultivating your creativity, cultivating your sexual energy, this is all the blueprint for how we are meant to live. We're meant to be. And there's a lot of cultural shaming around pleasure. It's for a reason. It's to keep you out of your feminine. Because to be in your feminine energy is to be in great power, magnetism. And when I say power, I don't mean power over anyone, like a dominating power. It is power that's emanating from within you and out. That's feminine energy. That's feminine power. It's coming from within and emanating out. Greetings, Tiffany. How are you? I miss you so much. So yes, join the membership. If you want to connect with other women, we do full moon calls, new moon calls, and belly dancing, live stream belly dancing, all the feminine energy secrets, all the feminine energy codes will be in there. Community. You deserve it. You deserve this medicine. You deserve this medicine. And so I invite you in. I miss you. If anyone has any questions, let me know. And you have yourself a beautiful, beautiful evening. Thank you for joining me. And peace and love.